What if I told you that a simple glass of water, something you do every single day without thinking, could be the quiet, powerful key to regulating your blood sugar and slowing down the silent march of diabetes? Yeah, I know. Sounds almost too simple, right? But stick with me, because what I'm about to share has surprised even some of my colleagues who've been practicing medicine for decades. I'm Dr. Isabella Norris, and I've spent over 15 years working with men over 60 who are fighting to keep their metabolic health in check. And what I've discovered, what changed everything for me and for hundreds of my patients, is that it's not just how much water you drink. It's when you drink it and how you do it. That tiny detail, so easy to overlook, can make a massive difference in how your body handles glucose every single day. Research out of one of the most respected medical universities in the country found that drinking water at specific times could increase insulin sensitivity by up to 40%. That's the hormone your body naturally produces to move sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells where it actually belongs. And here's the best part. You can get that effect without spending a dime on medication, without torturing yourself with extreme fasting, and without turning your whole life upside down. Just by adjusting something as simple as when you reach for that glass of water. I know it sounds almost crazy, but in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So stay with me, because what I'm about to walk you through could permanently change the way you look at a plain old glass of water. There's a silent condition lurking in the shadows that affects millions of older men without them even realizing it. Type 2, diabetes. It creeps up slowly at this time. A little more thirst here, a little extra fatigue there, a small cut that just takes forever to heal. But over time, that slow drift can lead to nerve damage, vision problems, heart attacks, and the thing that scares my patients most, losing their independence, their quality of life. And the numbers are alarming. According to recent data from leading endocrinology research institutions, more than 30% of people over 60 already show signs of prediabetes or full diabetes. Past 80, it's 1 in 2. What breaks my heart most as a doctor is that so many of these men are doing everything right. They're cutting carbs, walking every day, taking their meds, watching their portions, and their blood sugar still climbs. The fatigue still sets in. Their body just stops responding the way it used to. I saw this over and over again in my clinic. Disciplined, responsible, careful men. And yet, their glucose was all over the place for no apparent reason. Until the day I found the missing piece. A hidden key tied directly to the way you drink water. Now, before I get into the solution, let me walk you through the 3 most common mistakes I see every single week. Mistakes that are quietly sabotaging your blood sugar, even when you're doing everything else right. Mistake number 1. Waiting until you're thirsty to drink. If you wait for thirst, you're already behind. Thirst isn't a preventive signal, it's a warning alarm. It means you're already dehydrated. By the time your mouth feels dry or your throat starts to feel sticky, your body has already lost about 2% of the water it needs. That might sound small, but it can push your blood sugar up by as much as 15%. Concentration gets harder, energy dips, and most critically, it blocks one of the most crucial processes in your body, insulin action and glucose transport. Think of your blood like a river. When that river is well fed, glucose flows smoothly into your cells. But when the water level drops, everything grinds to a halt. Sugar stagnates. Insulin starts resisting. Your body slides into a glycemic chaos, even if you can't feel a thing. Mistake number 2, chugging large amounts of water all at once. A lot of guys think that slamming a full bottle of water in one go is going to flush the sugar out faster. It doesn't work like that. Your body can only absorb about 200 to 250 milliliters, roughly 1 small glass, every 15 minutes. Everything beyond that just gets sent straight to the bathroom. So if you're downing a liter in one shot, your kidneys are doing the work, not your metabolism. Your body never got the chance to use that water to dilute glucose or improve insulin sensitivity. Effective hydration isn't about how much you drink, it's about how you spread it out over the course of the day. Think of watering a garden. If you dump the whole watering can at once, you flood the soil and the water just runs off. But if you water slowly and steadily, the roots absorb exactly what they need, no more, no less. Mistake number 3, drinking ice cold water. I get it. Especially in the summer, nothing feels better than a freezing cold glass of water. But for men over 60, it can actually work against you. Very cold water causes your blood vessels to constrict sharply, what we call vasoconstriction. Blood flow decreases. Oxygen circulates less efficiently. Your tissues get fewer nutrients at exactly the moment your body needs them most to manage glucose correctly. Room temperature water, or even slightly warm water around 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, is what your body absorbs most effectively. Insulin works better when it's not fighting vascular resistance. So if you've been waiting until you're thirsty, gulping down big amounts here and there, or reaching for ice water out of habit, don't beat yourself up. Nobody ever taught us how to hydrate properly. But now that you know, you can start doing it smarter, gentler on your metabolic system. Now let me give you the solution. I call it the H3+1 Method. 4 simple habits that, when done consistently, can transform your metabolic stability in just a few weeks. H3+1 stands for hydration, hormone, horaire, that's timing, and the +1 is a bonus step that ties everything together. Nothing complicated, nothing expensive, just 4 micro habits you can start today. Step 1 is what I call the morning glass. When you wake up, your body has gone 6 to 8 hours without a single drop of water. This is what I call the golden window. In those first hours of the morning, your insulin sensitivity is at its absolute peak. Your body is primed to capture glucose efficiently and protect your cells. How do you take advantage of this window? Simple. Drink 1 12-ounce glass of warm water right after you get up, before any food, before your coffee, before anything. Add a small pinch of unrefined sea salt, just a tiny amount, the tip of a knife. Here's why. That trace amount of minerals naturally reactivates your hormonal and metabolic systems and helps your body enter regulation mode rather than stress mode, preventing that morning cortisol spike. And if you want an extra boost, add a few drops of fresh lemon juice. It balances pH, supports digestion, and gives a gentle nudge toward blood sugar stability, without the caffeine hit. One important note, never use regular table salt. It has none of the minerals your body actually needs. Sea salt, real unrefined sea salt, brings magnesium, potassium, and sodium. Those are the 3 pillars of healthy insulin sensitivity right from the start of your day. Now, I know some of you are going to ask, Dr. Norris, won't drinking water in the morning mess up my fasting blood sugar reading? Great question, and honestly, one of the most common ones I hear in my clinic. Plain water, especially warm water, with just a pinch of sea salt and lemon, does not meaningfully affect your fasting glucose test. The trace minerals and lemon are so minimal, they don't trigger an insulin response. If your doctor wants a true fasting reading, you can still do the morning glass and get an accurate result. But if you're ever unsure, check with your own physician, especially if you're on insulin or glucose-lowering medication. And speaking of which, another question I get all the time. What if I have high blood pressure? Can I still use sea salt? This is a really important one because a lot of men managing blood sugar are also managing hypertension. Here's the key. The amount of sea salt in this protocol is a trace amount. Literally the tip of a knife, not even a quarter teaspoon. That's nowhere near enough sodium to impact blood pressure in a clinically meaningful way for most people. That said, if your doctor has you on a strict sodium restriction, skip the salt and just use warm water with lemon. You'll still get about 80% of the benefit. When in doubt, always run protocol changes by your doctor first. Your safety matters more than any protocol. Step 2 is the pre-meal glass. About 15 minutes before each meal, drink a small glass of water, no more than 5 ounces. That's it. This tiny volume puts your stomach in the right condition. It triggers enzyme production, slows down the entry of carbohydrates into your bloodstream, and prevents that brutal post-meal blood sugar spike. Think of it like loosening a thick syrup before it gets too sticky. The glucose enters more gradually, and insulin can do its job without having to fight. Recent studies show that older adults who adopt this single habit reduce their post-meal glucose spike by up to 20% compared to those who don't, with no change in diet, no medication. Just 1 small glass at the right moment. Step 3 is hydration. during activity. If you're doing any kind of movement, walking, yard work, light exercise, this step becomes essential. Most guys only drink after they're done. That's a mistake. Your body needs water while it works, not after the fact. The ideal rhythm is about 4 ounces every 15 minutes during activity. It sounds almost trivially small, but this pace keeps your blood stable, prevents glycemic roller coasters, and protects every cell in your body during exertion. Here's a tip I share specifically with my patients over 55. Add a small pinch of cinnamon, about half a gram, to your water bottle during exercise. Cinnamon isn't some aggressive chemical. It's a natural spice that helps your cells respond more efficiently to insulin. Combined with proper hydration, it can reduce blood sugar by up to 10% over just 6 weeks. Simple, natural, and surprisingly effective. Step 4, the +1, is the evening glass. This is the final piece of the puzzle. About an hour before bed, drink roughly 7 ounces of warm water with one specific addition: 200 milligrams of magnesium citrate or bisglycinate. Magnesium is one of the most powerful minerals for improving insulin sensitivity, preventing overnight glucose spikes, and supporting deep, restorative sleep. During the night, your body is doing critical work, regulating glucose, repairing cells, replenishing reserves, but it can only do that properly if it has water plus minerals. Without them, the body shifts into survival mode. It protects vital organs first, releases stress hormones, and blood sugar climbs. That's why so many men wake up with elevated fasting glucose, even when they ate well the night before. I call this the regulation glass. It helps you sleep deeper, improves insulin response overnight, and sets you up for a more stable morning reading. I challenge you to apply the full H3+1 protocol for just 7 days. 7 days. You'll feel the first effects. Less morning thirst, more stable energy, better control after meals. Stick with it for 4 weeks and your HbA1c, your daily stability, even your mood will start shifting. This isn't magic, it's physiology. It's your body finally working the way it was designed to. Now, let me also address something people don't talk about enough: the hidden enemies that can quietly undermine all of your hydration efforts. Enemy number 1 is coffee. And I know, as an American, morning coffee is practically sacred. I'm not telling you to give it up. But if you drink coffee before you drink water, you're making one of the most common and damaging mistakes for your blood sugar. Coffee on an empty stomach stimulates cortisol and glucagon, forcing your liver to dump extra glucose into your bloodstream. Each cup can push baseline blood sugar up by 10 to 20 points. Multiply that by 2 or 3 cups a day, and the cumulative effect adds up. My recommendation: water first, always. Morning glass before the coffee maker even turns on. After that, enjoy your cup. Enemy number 2 is soda. A lot of people think soda counts toward their daily fluid intake. It doesn't. It does the opposite. Regular sodas are loaded with refined sugar and phosphorus. Glucose explodes immediately, forcing insulin to work overtime until it's exhausted. And phosphorus competes with magnesium, that key mineral we need for insulin sensitivity. Even diet sodas trick your palate and can still trigger insulin responses in some people. If you want something with a little fizz, try plain sparkling water with a splash of fresh lemon. You get the texture without the damage. Enemy number 3 is distilled or ultra-purified water. This one surprises people. Water that's too pure, stripped of all minerals, can actually work against you. Without sodium, potassium, and magnesium, your body has no tools to maintain insulin balance. It starts pulling those minerals from your cells, including your pancreatic cells, causing electrolyte imbalances that can alter insulin production over time. You don't want empty water. You want living water, water with minerals. If your tap water is safe to drink, a good filtration system plus a pinch of sea salt is all you need. You don't need to spend a fortune on fancy bottled water. Save your money. Invest in a good countertop filter that'll last you years, and you've got 95% of the benefit for pennies a day. Now let me tell you about a patient of mine. I'll call him Robert. He's 71, a retired electrician from Ohio who came to me a couple years back genuinely scared. His HbA1c was sitting above 8%. His feet were going numb from early neuropathy, and he told me flat out, Doc, I'm doing everything they tell me. I don't know what else I can do. He was checking his glucose multiple times a day, dreading every result. His wife was worried. His kids were worried. I walked him through the H3+1 method and explained that hydration would be the first domino to push. He was skeptical. He told me later he thought I was going to give him another drug to try. Instead, I told him, start with a warm glass of water every morning, a pinch of sea salt, a little lemon before anything else, then a small glass before every meal. Keep a water bottle on you during your morning walk. Magnesium before bed. He also added 40 minutes of daily walking and started paying attention to spreading his protein and fiber intake across the day, not piling everything into one big dinner. By the end of the first week, his post-meal spikes had come down noticeably. Small victory, but it gave him enough confidence to keep going. By week 4, his glucose readings were steady across the day, something he genuinely hadn't seen in years. At week 8, his doctor called him after his blood work came back and said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." His HbA1c had dropped meaningfully. For the first time in years, Robert drove himself on a road trip with his buddy, 3 days across Tennessee, and checked his glucose twice a day instead of every few hours. He called me when he got back and said, "Dr. Norris, I used to be afraid of my own blood sugar. Now I just drink my water and go live my life." That story is why I do this work, and I want that for every one of you watching right now. One question I get constantly: Dr. Norris, exactly how much water should I be drinking every day? For years, everyone threw around the 8 glasses a day rule. But honestly, that rule was never based on solid science, and it definitely doesn't apply to everyone equally. Your needs are completely different from the guy next to you at the gym. Age, body weight, activity level, kidney function, they all matter. Here's the simple formula I use in my clinic. Take your body weight in pounds and divide it by 2. That's approximately how many ounces of water you should aim for daily as your baseline. So if you weigh 180 pounds, you're looking at roughly 90 ounces, a little over 11 cups, spread out across the day, not all at once. And for every hour of moderate activity, add another 16 ounces to compensate for what you lose through sweat. How do you know if you're hitting the mark? Look at your urine color. Pale yellow, like light lemonade, is perfect. Completely clear means you might be overdoing it, which can dilute the sodium in your blood and cause dizziness and confusion. Deep yellow or orange means you're behind and need to drink more, slowly and steadily. The best practical trick I give my patients: get a 24-ounce reusable water bottle and fill it 3 times a day. Once in the morning, once around midday, once in the afternoon. That gets most people right where they need to be without any tracking apps, without stress, without obsessing. Having the bottle visible on your desk, your kitchen counter, your car, it's a natural reminder. Your metabolism needs consistent attention. After 60, your sense of thirst genuinely diminishes, which means dehydration sneaks up on you silently and steadily. You cannot rely on thirst alone. Let me bring this all together. Regulating your blood sugar, protecting your energy, keeping your independence. None of that requires a fancy clinic, an expensive endocrinologist, or some miracle injection. Often, the most powerful solution is also the most accessible one. Think of your body as a 3-legged stool. The first leg is hydration, the diluent that keeps glucose flowing, insulin working, and toxins clearing. The second leg is nutrition, fiber and quality protein spread across the day to slow glucose absorption and give insulin the tools it needs. The third leg is movement, aerobic activity that tells your body to use that glucose rather than let it accumulate. If any one leg is missing, the whole thing wobbles. The secret is balancing all 3, not obsessing over one while ignoring the others. If you're ready to take back control of your blood sugar, I challenge you to apply the H3+1 method starting tomorrow morning. Warm water, pinch of sea salt, splash of lemon, before your coffee, before breakfast, before anything else. Do it every single day for 7 days, and pay attention to how you feel. Your energy, your post-meal stability, your morning readings. And if this changed the way you think about something as simple as water, share this with the men in your life, your brother, your buddy, your dad. Someone out there is struggling with their glucose right now and has no idea that a glass of water at the right moment could be the first step toward real change. Because here's what 15 years of practice has taught me. Your body, no matter your age, no matter where your numbers are right now, is still capable of responding. Give it what it needs consistently and it will show up for you. Every single sip counts. Your control starts right here, right now, with something you already have in your kitchen.